I have a lot of stories about Doorway. I'm kind of like the walking Doorway archive. I haven't sung with Sierra all season! And Sierra's over there like, well, I'm sorry, I'm just so popular.
Cherry boom.
Ava, put your hand down. There may be 5 opinions that would like to go right, and 4 opinions that might like to go left.
Oh. Just me? Just me? Oh, okay.
Okay, I just knew it wasn't any of us.
I didn't sing with any of these people, so Brittany and Bev are both straight, question mark.
You can't rein that back in. No, actually. Oh, wait a minute, I felt smart.
We're all gonna need to sing quieter and make sure that we blend. Yeah, Dan, can you do that? Oh. It depends on what's inside.
Oh my god.
You're at a 10, let's bring it down to like 4 or so. I think I do this one. Oh my god. It's gone beyond 10. It's just gone. One day a flask is gonna come out and I am not gonna be surprised.
I was like,
Yeah, no it is.
Squirrel!
yes. I've said it better myself.
As long as I'm on me.
None of us have gotten fired yet. That's all I will say.
You're the manager.
I just like my beat. Okay, anyway. What are you saying about Ava?
And I'm Ava.
She late.
Behind the camera voice.
She does.
Really? Wow.
You do have a good behind the camera voice. Like, have you ever
Most
seen
likely
this?
to take a compliment so
Have you ever seen?
Boy, we've had a real
Alright.
Hi everybody! We are the Doorway Singers and we are going to do a little video for you.
Yep, we're gonna play a game called Nose Goes. The way Nose Goes works is so Ava's behind the camera and she's gonna be reading questions, kind of like senior superlative type questions, but we're gonna point to someone here that it applies to. So if, for example, it was like best smile, everybody would point to me, and then unless you had another incorrect opinion, and if you point straight up, then you're allowed to like tell your story about why there's somebody in the group that's not physically here making this video, and if there's a story that goes with it, you get to be privy to those stories.
Currently in the group we have
Melissa, Sierra, Jackie, myself, and Jen.
and Tina. Tina sang with us last year.
Yep. Ava. Cambra.
Cambra.
Bev. And Laura.
Robin sometimes sings
Robin.
alto for us around Christmas. She also sometimes sings tenor.
Me and Gavin and David.
Eric
No, another
Ortiz.
Oh, Eric
Ortiz.
Wesley, Charles, Paul, Eric, Jaron. Orlando sings with us sometimes, but I don't think he did this for last Christmas. And Jim. So Ava's going to read the questions that we got from online, and we're going to answer them to the best of our ability.
Question number 1. Which Doorway member is always late?
Oh no! Oh no! Don't play this game with me. Wait, Jackie has an upward. So does Cambra. All right, who is it?
Please
I don't
explain.
know, but they're not anyone in this room.
Who is the most likely to carry snacks with them on a gig?
She always brings dinner.
Yeah, yeah. If it's a night
But
game.
that's not snacks.
Well, no, that's what I was thinking was that, so Laura, she will always have like a little lunchbox and she has snacks in there. Dan every time brings a Tupperware like this, and it's like, and it's got like just chicken, like just slabs of chicken and like rice or like pasta, and then like a metal fork, not like a plastic fork that he could throw away, but like an actual
literally
eating utensil.
Yes.
We were on a Christmas gig this year, and we were in like kind of a sketchy area, and someone was like, "What happens if we get attacked?" And I was like, "Guys, I have a knife in here. It's fine. I have a knife."
Who is the most opinionated Doorway member?
And if they don't say me for smile, they're wrong. Oh, who do you think?
I'm afraid to say her name. She might kill me.
Is it Laura? Oh, I just said it.
It's okay to be opinionated. There's a few, and I will accept when I have an opinion, which is not all the time. When I have an opinion, it's loud.
Because you're the choreographer. You're in charge.
And then she's like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, you were right.
Everyone's like, we're kicking left, right? And she's like, yes, that's right. And then we're like, no. Something. Mostly Melissa. Melissa's like,
Yes.
no, that's not right. And Brittany's like, no, that's not right. No. So we have a lot of opinionated people in Doorway. That's the
That's
answer.
true.
It just depends on what the
Artists,
theme is
man.
about.
Artists.
We're a
That's so
slow turning ship. Oh, like the way we sway. We can't sway.
No, that is true. You have a question that says, who is most likely to drive? What does that mean?
Most likely to,
Drive to a
like
gig.
volunteer to drive to a gig. Robin.
Like drive people?
Robin has this
Robin.
thing that they call the shaggin' wagon.
Okay. One time, Ava, who's behind the camera, and I were on a Christmas gig with Ava's brother Jaron and Robin. Robin was driving, and she was acting as our tenor that evening. And while we were in there, it snowed. But she has this giant shaggin' wagon. It's humongous. I mean, you can fit a 2, 4, 6, 8
10 people.
people,
Yeah.
10 people in there, like, and then we're just trying to leave, and the bus just sinks down into the snow and the mud, and we can't get out. And then we tried calling AAA like 3 or 4 different times. We were probably sitting there for like close to 3 hours. Like, we put all the seats down, had a dance party.
Most likely to get lost on the way to a gig.
It used to be Jaron. Before Jaron
Does
had a
going to the
license.
wrong place count?
Oh
Yeah.
So I was so confident about this gig. I was like, oh, I know exactly where this place is. Because every gig, I looked it up on Google Maps. And I was like, okay, this is exactly where we're going. Then this one, I was like, oh, I've been there before. Yeah, so I got there, and then Jaron had the music equipment. Thankfully, I lived, 3 miles away, so Jackie and I rushed to my house and grabbed all of my equipment.
Okay, who is the biggest fashionista when it comes to costumes? I mean,
Yes.
can you see?
Yes.
Everyone's
100%.
like, there is no casual, normal, casual, me. Boom.
Who is the most likely to pick up phone numbers and flirt?
There was this one gig where Brittany and Eric and me and Bev were all on it. Okay, that's a very wide age range, let me just say. And so this guy, I'm not kidding, one of those beautiful men I have ever seen in my life was at that gig, and he, at different times in the evening, talked to all of us, right? So at the end, we're all walking out to the car, and I don't know if it was just the most exciting thing that had happened all evening or what, but for whatever reason, I was like, man, I just can't believe I didn't get that guy's phone number. And Eric says, yeah, I was trying too, and it didn't work. And I was like, what, you were trying to get his phone number? And he was like, yeah, I was. And Brittany goes, I got it. And I was like, excuse me? And then Bev, out of everyone, randomly, Bev is like my grandma's age. Bev goes, well, I'm glad you did, because if you hadn't, I was going to.
So I just flat out was like, well, I think you should call me. And, we exchanged numbers that way. So we texted, and after probably like 2 days or something like that, I came to the realization, I'll just put it out there into the universe. I'm 30 years old. Thank you, I know, I don't look it. This kid was like 19.
Where was I? Where the heck was I? The photographer at the
Yes.
Williamsburg.
There was this really cute photographer on one of our Christmas gigs this year, and Ava and I were just kind of like, talking about how cute he was throughout the whole gig. And at the end, I was like, Ava, watch this. And so I went over and I was like, hey, did you just take a picture of us? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, I noticed that you had a camera. What kind of camera is that? So we start talking about it, right? And I'm just the whole time like winking at Ava, and it's like, oh, cool. I would love to have that for our website, but my Wi-Fi's not working on my phone right now. I can't add you on Facebook. Why don't you just give me your phone number? And you can text them to me.
Oh,
and Ava's like, oh my gosh. And so I came back and was like, got it. So hire us. You might end up with more than just a gig. That sounds like an STD when I say it like that.
Who is the most interactive on a gig?
With the audience members?
Yes, with the audience members.
Wesley.
Oh,
Wesley's
Wesley
very,
does-
especially
yeah.
like on gigs where there's kids, he's super interactive
He's
with kids.
great.
He's so good.
On gigs with kids.
Gavin's also very interactive with
I think
audience
Gavin.
members.
Oh, yeah.
Gavin is very good.
But Wesley will do the kid thing, and then he'll also like.
Yeah.
Yes!
Yeah.
Schmooze people.
Right to you, yeah, like while he's singing.
Yeah.
I gave it to Cambra because during Santa Baby, she would kill it every single time.
I was like,
Okay.
to the old men.
Oh.
They love it, but we gotta be careful.
That's
It's
so
so grabby butts, and they don't feel bad about it.
I don't hear you saying, where was I on that gig?
There's a difference between 19-year-old gorgeous young men
True.
to
True.
70-year-olds.
Yeah, one of them's got money. Am I right? Am I right? Oh,
Because
cool.
if it was me, like having to like sing sexy to people, I'd be like, oh, I'm shy, I'm so shy, and she's just like killing it.
But then when it's a song that's not sexy, Jackie will sex it up though. Jackie makes sure that people go away being like, that was my favorite number.
Who is the most likely to panic on stage?
Katie Matthews.
100%.
I love you! But true! Katie Livingston, actually, one time on a gig, we're all over here like trying to practice the song so we get it right, and she's like, I'm not sure what I will do when I get up on stage and I'm nervous. Maybe I should practice my stage laugh. Ho ho ho, ho 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 ho, ho ho ho. Does that sound natural? Does that sound like I'm nervous? Do I sound nervous when I do? I was like, what are you doing? You need to learn this song!
If it seems like he's being like a caricature of someone, it's 100% exactly Katie Livingston.
I love you, Katie! We miss you.
We do miss you. So it was Christmas Eve, and we went to this church in Richmond, and I was losing my voice. And of course, the pastor requested "Oh Holy Night," and all of us looked at each other like,
Oh, holy crap.
and while we were singing outside, I was getting more and more hoarse. And so while we're in the church sitting and praying, I'm praying, my God, please, everybody came here to see you. I can't let these people down. And so we get up there, Oh Holy Night happens, and then I don't know what happened, what came over me, but these notes came out of nowhere.
She did it.
She did.
Girl rocked it.
Who is most likely to goof off on a gig, I guess?
Bev.
Beverly Taylor. She says some of the funniest things,
She says
I will
she
say.
does.
funniest things.
And sometimes I don't even know if she's
She
aware
does.
of it. Paul does the same thing.
That's true.
Paul's very dry in his
Genre
delivery.
Also Charles.
Oh my
Made
God.
your way on gigs.
Charles is such a ham.
Eric's like very serious when we're rehearsing, but when we're on gigs, Eric's like really fun.
We'll be standing there and we'll sing something, and he'll just be like, "Remember a funny comment that only you can hear."
Yes. Carrie does that too. Carrie will whisper like sarcastic comments under her breath that are so funny. I will tell you, one time we were on a gig and she was like, she disappeared for a while, and I was like, this is very unlike her. Carrie's so professional. Like, what's going on? Why hasn't she come back yet? And she came back and she was like, guys, I'm so sorry. I had a new, and we were like,
A new.
huh? But I was like, Carrie, you're not new. You've been in the script like way longer than I have. So then at the end of the gig, all of us, all three of the other people were like, why did you say you had a new? Like, what is it? And she goes, oh, a never-ending wipe. That's what that is. She was like, I went to the bathroom and I had a never-ending wipe. And we were like, what?
Most likely to be thought of as a couple.
Ava's saying that like, because it's her and her brother. Every time we go places,
So,
they're
like-
like, oh, are you guys a couple?
Yeah, it's like not only because they're both like really young and like adorable, and so they just assume like, oh, those two go together, and we're like.
Or like slow dancing together, which is.
Well, my favorite thing is when we're on Beach Street and then people come up and they'll be like, "Are you guys a family?"
Are you a family? The funniest one was one time we were on a gig with Paul, who is in his 70s, and Jen, who is like in her, like I think she's
30s?
like late 30s, yeah, and me, and Liz, who is my age but taller. And so then we're all, someone came up and said, are you guys a family? And Jen, dead ass, just stopped and was like, which one of us is the mom? And then we were just like,
Yeah,
Aunts
you
and
should
uncles.
meet our other 8 siblings.
Yeah. I always love it when people ask like our ages, like they guess our ages. Because I
Yeah.
remember one time we had like.
yeah, they thought we were like switched
Yeah,
or whatever. They
yeah,
thought
yeah.
Ava was older than me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm 31 and she is 17?
Yeah, I was like really young. Who's the most savage?
Could possibly be Charles. Could also possibly be Gavin.
Oh, Gavin.
Gavin's got like that quick.
That's-
He gets that like those quick. But there's one person that I will say that like always surprises me with their savageness, like unprovoked and out of the blue, and suddenly you're like, "Excuse me, what did you just say? Are you old enough to be saying that?"
Yes, it is. Yes, Raise your hand if you've ever been personally victimized by Ava Stevenson.
Hey!
Well,
Do them all.
thanks for joining us. This has been
Yes.
fun. We've learned a lot about each other.
That's
We
true.
hope our friends still love us.
Right, exactly.
Katie, Liz, Paul, Laura. We really have a great group of people, honestly.
We do.
We have an
Yes.
awesome group. Like, we actually like each other's company, and we actually like hanging out with each other.
It's a great group not just to like work with, but also to socialize with. I think we have a lot of fun hanging out outside of rehearsals when we get the chance. We're such a big family, so many extended parts. That sounds weird. Most likely to be inappropriate on a gig.
That's facts.
Or at any time.
Oh, also
Right?
facts.
You just never know when it's gonna come out. All right. Well, good night.
Good night.
Sign off.
Bye. We'll see you on a gig.